Mathilda has been dead for 3 days. Her body is still there. The herd has not left it. They return to it, touch it, stand beside it in the particular stillness of grief. But something else is also happening in the living members of the group. Nobody has called a meeting. Nobody has challenged. Something is shifting. And by the time this herd moves again, it will be decided. Watch the herd in the days after. They don't disperse, they pull inward, tighter than usual, the group clustering in the way that grieving herds cluster. Then the oldest remaining female makes a directional choice. The others follow. It looks like leadership resuming. For 30 years, when a male lion roared across the grassland, Mathilda raised her head before the younger females had finished reacting. Not because the sound startled her, because she had heard it precisely, repeatedly, more times than any other animal in the group. Ears spread, trunk raised, the group bunching behind her before anyone else had decided whether to move. The youngest calves pressed toward the centre. The mothers positioned at the edges. The defensive formation was complete in seconds. Karen McComb and her team documented this at Amboseli, playing recordings of lion roars to elephant family groups and measuring what happened. An older matriarch responds differently to a male lion roar than a female one. A younger matriarch leading the same group responds to both the same way. She does not yet know the difference. The group's window of vulnerability is wider. If the threat is real, the cost of that extra second cannot be undone. Decades of encounters, dry seasons, dawns survived, each one adding precision to what she heard when a lion roared. The morning after she dies, a roar crosses the grassland. The oldest remaining female raises her head. She listens, she reacts correctly. But the formation takes a moment longer than it used to. That moment is what Mathilda took with her. Now, someone has to become her. And the herd is moving whether she is ready or not. The herd cannot measure what Mathilda took with her. It cannot feel the extra second in the formation or know what it means that the oldest remaining female has heard fewer lion roars, survived fewer dry crossings, catalogued fewer voices than the animal she is replacing. All it knows is that the oldest female is moving. And it moves behind her. There is no ceremony, no challenge, no moment anyone could point to and say, "There." That was when the new elephant matriarch was chosen. It is not an election, it is a convergence. The elephant herd orienting gradually and without instruction toward the oldest remaining female. Roo, Mathilda's eldest daughter, who has spent 30 years walking one step behind the animal who knew everything, watching which waterhole she chose in the worst dry seasons, listening to which contact calls made her pause, reading every decision Mathilda made and filing it somewhere in her body without knowing she was doing it. The conditions had been accumulating for 30 years. In every decision she watched, every route she followed, every dry season she survived at Mathilda's shoulder. The elephant herd does not wait for her to prove herself before following her. They follow because she is oldest, because their bodies already know the rhythm of moving in her direction. Field researchers documenting desert elephant matriarch succession in Namibia over more than a decade of continuous observation recorded what followed when Mathilda died. 3 females moved toward the front, Roo, Delil, and the Duchess. Not through contest, through presence, each leading in different moments, different contexts. The group reading hour by hour which animal to orient toward. It took weeks to settle. During those weeks, the herd was slower at decision points, more hesitant at waterholes. The gap between what Mathilda knew and what her successors were still learning was visible in the pauses, the extra beat before a choice, the moment where the group looked to the front and found uncertainty looking back. The herd was not leaderless in those weeks. It was learning a new leader, and Roo was learning what it meant to be one. She had watched Mathilda make this look effortless for 30 years. Now she understood it had never been effortless, it had been earned. Every season, every roar, every dry crossing that ended at water, and she was only at the beginning. What makes this moment extraordinary is not what Roo is doing, it is what it costs her to do it without knowing if it is right. A dry season morning. The waterhole Mathilda chose every year for a decade. Roo stands at the edge of it, arriving at the same hour Mathilda would have arrived, reading the same surface, making the same call. She has been here before. Always as a follower, always a step behind. She steps in first, the calves follow, the mothers follow. The group drinks. Douglas Hamilton and colleagues tracking elephant families in Samburu across years of continuous observation documented how elephant social bonds rebuild after a matriarch dies. Trust does not transfer with the role. It accumulates from a record, each correct decision adding weight, each dry season survived adding certainty. The elephant herd carrying the evidence without knowing it is keeping score. Roo does not know she is building a record. She only knows the waterhole is where Mathilda always went. McComb's data on elephant memories showed that older matriarchs recognise the contact calls of elephants from up to 100 other family groups. Individuals not encountered in years, still retrievable, still classifiable as family or unknown. The equivalent of a person being able to identify 100 voices, heard briefly, once, years apart, and knowing immediately, without notes or effort, whether to trust them. Mathilda carried that without effort. It was simply part of what she had become across the decades it took to build it. Roo carries a fraction of it. She will spend the rest of her life closing the distance. Next dry season, she leads them back. The group drinks again. She stands at the edge of the waterhole after the others have moved away, trunk touching the surface. One more season added to whatever she's becoming. Return to Mathilda's herd on the morning they first moved without her. Roo is at the front. She did not campaign for it, she did not win it. The herd moved toward her because she was oldest, and because 30 years of walking one step behind Mathilda means that following her now requires less adjustment than following anyone else. She does not yet know the voices of 100 families. The recognition library Mathilda built across a lifetime. One encounter at a time, still retrievable after years of silence. She has not yet survived enough dry seasons to know which crossings hold in the worst years. She has not heard enough roars to carry what Mathilda carried. But the herd is behind her. And every correct decision she makes, every waterhole that holds every threat she reads right, every route that ends somewhere, is being added to a record the elephant herd keeps. Without knowing, it keeps one. When Roo is gone, the female behind her will already be watching. The archive never stops being written. Next time, a bull has been gone for 3 years. The family he left behind has continued without him. New calves born, routes changed, the herd's composition shifted entirely. Then one morning he reappears at the edge of the family's range. What researchers have documented about how elephant bulls navigate between solitary wandering and the families they were born into. And what drives them back is one of the most unexpected findings in the study of elephant social bonds. Like and subscribe so you are there when that one goes up.